He said there's a lot of bad football being played in the league right now. And he just said that matter-of-factly, and that was late in the game, and I said, finally. It was like the fourth quarter. He said, yes, Troy, truer words have not been spoken tonight. And Jim, I don't know if you agree. If you look at where we are right now on December, what's today, the 13th? Where we are on December 13th, this is really, we always say teams separate themselves in December and January. Well, sometimes they separate themselves just by refusing to be stupid, just by letting somebody else be more self-destructive than they are. The Patriots are not a great football team, far from it, but they don't do things like this to cost themselves games. And I think we're going to see that not just from the teams like the Patriots taking advantage of this, but some other teams who are on the playoff fringes just kind of holding their position, doing what they can, staying within themselves, and then benefiting because they don't do crazy things like put knives in their eyes and all sorts of ridiculous antics that the Cardinals did last night.
Yeah, but Michael, you've been around long enough. You know the truism in the NFL that says more games are lost than won. And last night was one of those examples. And look, to your point, the really good coaches understand when to take risk and when not to. And what do I mean by that? I remember back when I was covering the Chargers one year, I think it was the early 2000s, they had the NFL's #1 ranked defense. And I remember talking to some people around the league and they were like, yeah, but the defense really isn't that good. And I'm like, well, what do you mean it's not that good? It's ranked #1. And they said, no, their offense is so bad that opponents don't have to open up their offense and try, to take chances. They can just wait because they know that San Diego offense, it was in the San Diego Chargers, that offense was going to make mistakes that were going to give opportunities to the opponent to go and win the game. And sure enough, it was true, because I'm sitting up there trying to tout that defense about how good it was. And the reality was it was good, but it wasn't #1 good because its offense was so bad that teams just kind of held back until they needed to score. And typically when they needed to score at the end of the game, opponents would go down the field and score. So you're right. I think Bill Belichick obviously is smart enough to understand that there are certain teams that you don't have to take a lot of chances with, that they will beat themselves. And it sounds like a cliche, but it's absolutely true in today's NFL.
So where does Tampa Bay fit in that whole construct? Are they a team that is not talented enough and that's why they don't win? Are they a team that beats themselves? Is it a team with a really great shining crown jewel and a quarterback, but not much around him? Because you told me at the beginning of the season, you said this might be the year. This might be the year where Tom Brady starts to dip. And I'm not sure Brady is dipped, but I know his team has.
Yeah, let's be clear. I never said Brady would dip. I said I believe that the Bucs would dip, that I believe they would not make the playoffs. And I said that because, as I said to you then, the minute a player starts talking about retirement, let alone actually retiring, he's retired in my mind.
So you want to stick with it? You want to stick with that? That the Bucs won't make the playoffs? I do.
Well,
I want to
let me put it to you this way. If I stick with it, it's not for the reason I thought in the beginning. In the beginning, prior to the season, I thought it was because the Saints would win the division. But now,
who cares why you were right?
I know. Well, I know. Look, I guess the details matter to me. But right now, I would say, if I were to say that, it's because I think Carolina will win that division. And to me, that's one of the best stories in the NFL besides the Lions and what the Commanders have done. But for Steve Wilks to come in there after Matt Rhule was fired, to make the changes on the staff, to make the changes on the roster, do the things that he has done, and now have that team a game out of first place, and having already beaten the Bucs this year and to be 3-1 in the division, I think it would be a hell of a story for Steve Wilks to come back after the way he was treated, coming full circle in Arizona, to now get an opportunity and potentially win that division would be incredible.
It's a hell of a story on Brother from Another. It would not be a hell of a story nationally if that happens because of the division that they play in. So you know how it would play out nationally. Like right here, I agree with you. Everything you said, because I think the Panthers are going to win the division. They're 5-8. They have the same divisional record as the Bucs. They've beaten the Bucs head to head. Look who the Bucs have next. Look who the Panthers have next. The Panthers, no Kenny Pickett. I'm guessing no Kenny Pickett on Sunday. So you've got the Panthers facing Mitch Trubisky, and the Bucs facing Joe Burrow. Ooh, that's not good. Okay, that's just not good. I'm just gonna put it right there. I'm gonna say it like that. That's not good. So I anticipate on not to do an early version of My Bet's Your Money, but I anticipate the next time we talk that both teams will be 6-8 with 3 games to play down the stretch, 6-8. And if you look at the Panthers' schedule, ooh, it is lovely. They really don't have a tough schedule. They don't have a tough schedule, so they should be well positioned.
Don't do that, Michael. Don't do that.
I know. Any given Sunday and all that stuff. But you know what people say that? Any given Sunday thing. All right, look. Any given Sunday, you know what that cliche is for? I'm telling you, any given Sunday is a cliche for the worst people in America. And you know who they are? They're the literalists. They're the literalists will be the death of us all. Like, you cannot say anything to a literalist because they always have, no. Hey, you say, look, hey, if Kansas City plays the Texans, Kansas City is going to beat that ass. Okay, you say that to a literalist, and a literalist says, well, I remember that time that a 2-win team beat a 13-win team, so you can, we know it's possible. We know it's possible. No, but what's likely?
I could go so many ways with this.
Math?
I could go so many ways with this. But I won't.
Go ahead. Go.
No. I'm gonna let you have the point. Because if we get into the literal game and you're talking about beating asses, I'm not gonna go there. So I'm gonna keep this on football right now. I think even I can't get past that one. No, I agree with you. I think Carolina right now would be the favorite for it, but I think part of the reason that that the Panthers are doing what they are doing is because, again, to use the football cliche, they are staying focused and in the moment, one game at a time, as our guy Marty Schottenheimer would say, not looking down the road and just playing from that way. And again, man, I couldn't be happier for Steve Wilks. He got a bad treatment in Arizona to be fired after 1 year without a franchise quarterback.
See the theme here? The theme is what a through line. The through line has just been consistent the entire show. We started off talking about bad organizations.
Yep.
We mentioned Arizona off the top, the season that they're having, and then you just go to Steve Wilks and where did he get bad treatment? Wow. He was in Arizona. Is that a coincidence? No. Yeah, I'm happy for him too. But I'm saying, Jim, the reason that won't be the number one story is if Carolina Panthers overtake the Buccaneers and win this division and leaves Tom Brady out of the playoffs, that's going to be your headline. That is the bold headline. Tom Brady doesn't make the playoffs, overtaken by the Carolina Panthers. So that focus will be on, hey, what's going on with the Buccaneers? Unfortunately, it might lead to some conversation about Todd Bowles after he took over for Bruce Arians. Will Brady come back? Where will Brady go? All that kind of stuff.
That's the number one storyline, even more than the Bucs and what went wrong and Todd Bowles and all of that. Darn well the story is going to be, is Tom Brady going to play again? And if so, where? Because it won't be Tampa. That will be the story. And people are already speculating about where could Brady fit next year. Like, you've already heard about Vegas and other clubs, about even San Francisco, where he would be good next year, potentially, if he were to play again. I'm not going down that road right now. Look, he's still got a shot to make it this year, but there are problems in Tampa, obviously. That's me stating the obvious. And that one of the more mystifying storylines of this entire season for me is how a player of Tom Brady's caliber cannot get on the same page with a receiver of
Yeah.
Michael.
Mike Evans, yeah.
Yes, Mike Evans. How he can't get on the same page with Mike Evans. It makes no sense to me. None. And it's not like it's their first year together. So what has changed this year for the two of them that all of a sudden one is seeing one thing and the other one is seeing something else? I will be fascinated at the end of the year when they are honest, I believe, at that point about it, of what went wrong or why this isn't working for the two of them. Because they're not going to tell us right now. But at the end of the year, it'll come out.
I want to pick up on this when we come back, but I'm just going to ask you a question. You know, remember how you felt when you got out of bed when you were 25? 25 felt great, had great energy. You're just great. You can do anything. You didn't worry about rest. You didn't worry about, oh, I got to conserve my energy. But when you were 45, things start to ache a little bit. It's not the same. Could that be happening to our 45-year-old hero, Tom Brady? It's not bad, just not quite what it used to be. Like Cedric the Entertainer said, never quite curl. It's just, Tom Brady's just not curling like he used to. Is it possible? Hey, thanks for watching Brother from Another on YouTube. Make sure you hit subscribe before you leave, and be sure to watch us 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Time on Peacock. Appreciate you.